All right, come on, let's get this cracking.
It's me. Can you picture this? Baby, David, good looking, baby. CYP got another. I see y'all. Yeah. Can you picture this? You know, rocking with CYPT. Podcast of the D with Clay and the crew. It's like my CTV. They be giving game out so much, you could take the same route. Especially if you take risks, this YouTube, you make sense.
What up, though? You are listening to the CYPT podcast, the podcast for the strongest, fastest, most powerful print shop in Detroit City. Just ask about us. I am Just Niles.
It's your boy Lance.
Zell. This is Clay.
And this is the crew for tonight. As always, this program is sponsored by the Wash and Fine Fragrance Detergent with guaranteed to keep it clothes smelling fresher and last longer. Tonight, I'm really excited about this topic. I feel it's always one of my favorite topics. It is how it all started. It's the genesis. It's the Big Bang. The Let There Be Lights. The how it all began. The magic. The start of Can You Picture This? Was it always? Let's start at the beginning. Yeah,
It wasn't.
Was it always called Can You Picture This? This is the first one you hit?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't always called Can You Picture This? It was actually called. I actually started it with it was me and my dad, and we named it like after his name. It was called Starlin's Perfect Exposure. It was basically a photography company, and then we transitioned to T-shirts.
When was this? When did Starlin's Perfect Exposure first?
Probably, I would say around 1987.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when he got serious with.
I was born in '83.
Yeah, so it was well before.
I was born in '89. Dang.
Yeah, like about '87 is when he first got into like photography. I remember.
Did you get into it as well?
Yeah, so I learned a lot because I was always, he was like, sit right here while I put the light right here. So he took a lot of pictures of me. I got tons of pictures because I was like his number one model when he was learning photography.
Were you guys doing developing?
Yeah, well, I was doing developing. I actually took a photography class in high school. So we got a chance to develop film and print our own prints. And then I bought an enlarger and was starting to do my own developing at home and stuff like that in the basement. Made the basement bathroom out of a dark room, so we developing our own prints and stuff like that.
Y'all had a dark room in the house.
In the house, in the basement, yeah, hanging up the film.
My dad had one in the basement too.
Remember
when did you guys make when did you bring on the printing along with the photography?
The printing of the T-shirts.
Did it start with T-shirts?
Well, no, it started with photography.
Right. And then printing came in. What were you guys printing when that came in? Well, how did you guys integrate that?
Integrate the printing of the shirts, is what you're asking. So it was a company. I had to ask my father not too long ago, like, how did we get involved with that company? It was a company in Farmington. It was called Kimbrough. And it was when like the T-shirt transfer first hit the market. They were like selling transfers to like big companies like Walmart and stuff, but they were transferring it. So we never knew the process, how they was doing it, but we can just give them a picture and they would put it on a shirt. It was like amazing. Like it was when that like process like first came out. And we would drive way up to Farmington to get like a couple of T-shirts, and they were wholesaling them to us. I remember we had to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Really?
Oh wow! Yeah. So they were like, it was a bunch of older white guys, and they all had like Mercedes Benzes parked outside. I mean, it was like 6 Benzes, and they were like, but they had we never knew what was in the back room, but it was just like
the poker game.
Yeah, it was they had this big facade
poker
game. And actually it was a laser copier. One of the guys that worked there, we was friends with him, and he was like he ran the copier, and he no longer had work with him, and we was like, asked him like, hey, how do they make these shirts? And he was like, oh, it's this Canon copier.
It's this thing in the back we got. Yeah, you
like,
just turn it on like this.
Copier? So yeah, he gave us the sauce, but like about a year or so later, they went out of business, and they sold us like all their plain
Everything.
white T-shirts for like a quarter, like 50 cents to a quarter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was like that's how we got started. They got all the stock and stuff like that.
What made you integrate the T-shirt printing with the photography?
Well, they go hand in hand. Like, so everything that like if it was based on a picture, like we put it on a shirt. Say we can also put it on a mug, on a keychain. So basically just piggybacking off of what we was already doing, and it was like new. It was real new. So people wasn't like,
there was never an aha moment, like picture and shirt. It was just a natural flow. Just
yeah, it was just a natural flow. I mean, like we putting it on like we putting pictures on basically anything, canvas bags, and all through the copier. So anything that we can put a picture on, we did it.
Okay. So did you guys have a studio? Where were you guys taking the pictures, or where did you guys start printing the shirts at?
We were taking pictures in the basement, and then like when Kimbrough went out of business
At the crib?
Yeah, at the house. So we were taking pictures in the basement, and then when Kimbrough went out of business, they they told us about the copier or whatnot, and it was a huge investment, and my dad said, "Well, I'm gonna get it." It was like $20,000 back then.
And what year was that?
That was like in 87, 88.
Oh.
So it was a really big investment. So
it was $1 million.
Yeah, back then. So, and I'm like, so it was a lease. So he would pay a lease. So he bought the copier, and they wheeled it in the house. We had the copier in the dining room.
How big was it?
It was the size of
no.
Yeah, it was the size of
the Buick.
The Buick. Yeah, it was the size of the Buick.
Just in the living room.
It was actually in the kitchen nook.
Okay.
It was in the kitchen nook. We moved the dining room table out and put the copier in there. We wasn't selling a lot. We was just paying a note and just grinding it. Actually, we was losing a lot of money.
Okay, so you doing photography and T-shirts in the basement. When do you guys decide to take it from the basement?
From the basement, we actually moved into. My dad was a avid bowler, and it was yeah. Well, he is.
Listen, man, if it's one thing I know that man does.
So we actually had it was a bowling alley called Central City. They had a room inside of the bowling alley, and we actually moved the photography studio into the bowling alley. So,
no way.
Yeah. So,
where was that?
Central City was off of Woodward. Woodward, and I believe it was I forget exactly where it was, but it was off of Woodward. Yeah.
So the studio's in the bowling alley now. What are y'all doing for advertisement? Is it just all word of mouth?
All word of mouth, just the people that we bowl with, bowling league, and hey, we do shirts and take a picture with your bowling ball, and we just put it on a shirt. It all started with like bowling.
Did the bowling leagues ever ask you guys to make shirts and stuff?
Well, yeah, we did make bowling shirts and stuff like that. So business started to pick up, but we was just determined to make it grow and make it work because we had that monthly high bill to pay for that lease. So we were just going out hustling.
Okay. So business starts picking up a little bit.
Started picking up a little bit, but we wasn't really making any money, probably just pretty much breaking even. But it was like my dad, he was retired from Chrysler, and he just wanted to, have something to do and give me something to do, like pass something on to me.
Okay. So how long would you guys say you were at the bowling studio?
So then we went from the bowling studio. We were bouncing around. Then we went to.
How long were you there?
I would say, just to take a good guess. I mean, we talking some years ago. So I would guess say around about 4 or 5 years.
You were there for 5 years?
Yeah,
okay.
4 or 5 years.
Because I wanted to make sure you're not just moving this printer over and over and over again.
The printer was still at the house.
Okay, so it's only the photography studio that moved.
The photography studio. So we would take we would have like orders for shirts and then just
bang them out at night.
Bang them out at the house and then deliver them back at the studio. So after that, after Central City, I remember us having a studio in a hair salon. And it was a hair salon.
Where was this?
This was on 8 Mile. I couldn't tell you the name of it. It'll come to me later, but we were inside of a hair salon. So still we had the studio in the hair salon, and we were going to I remember us going to hair shows and stuff. So we would do photography
right
in the hair shows, develop prints and stuff like that. And then transfer images on T-shirts, and we were selling and then we started to get into the business cards and flyers. I remember me going out to these different barbershops and selling them business cards and hey, we can do a T-shirt with your picture on it of your hairstyles or whatnot. And I thought of this crazy. I thought I was a genius when I thought of a picture. Putting pictures on the smocks of the barbers.
Right.
I was young. I was going around just driving to these different barbershops and, asking if they wanted to get some business cards and then some smocks. I got a couple of sales.
You really had this hustle about you.
I had that hustle about me. Yeah.
How are you making these business cards? What are we doing?
So what we were doing, we were designing the business cards, and then we were subbing it to another company out in California. But it would take you like 2-3 weeks to get your business cards back.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I remember, it was a while for you to get your business cards back. But we sold quite a few business cards. So we were selling business cards.
Okay, so now we're at photography, T-shirts, business cards, flyers. So now we're in full print mode now. We're at a hair salon. How long can we stay there until we have to?
So let's see. I remember I took a break. And the streets had got real interesting to me.
Okay.
But we wasn't making a lot of money, and I got wrapped up in the streets. And I took about a 5-year hiatus, yeah, break just in the streets. And I remember I got in the jam. And I was like, so I gotta get out of this. So I was like, Lord, you get me out of this one, I ain't never going back. So he got me out. And I was just there, nothing, no job, no nothing, just
you got married back.
Yeah. So I said, hey, Dad, where that old camera at? I blew the dust off the camera.
What camera was it? Do you remember it?
I had a Pentax K1000. That's what it was called. It was with the meter. I remember the meter was inside of the the f-stop was inside of the camera. You had to look at a needle in the inside of the camera. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
So at that point, I began, taking pictures at the clubs, and that was really lucrative.
And this is still a film.
Yeah, well, actually, we had
you take a film pictures at the club.
You can hand me that camera right there, Lance. This was one of the cameras that I used taking pictures at the club.
Oh boy, pulling that thing out.
Yeah. So this is.
I'm not. I'll take a break. I'm not. I'm not.
This looks like an antique, but it was a Polaroid. It's still. Look at there. It still has film in there. I might have. Oh snap!
What?
The last picture.
Yeah.
What?
It might be a picture. It might be something on here.
That
So
is
we would
incredible.
Take this, and I remember we would rub it like this to make it develop faster. We were taking pictures at the at Club UBQ, a popping club. So we would go there and make about $1,000 a night.
No way.
Yeah,
$5 a photo or something?
$5 a photo.
How long did it take for someone to get their photo back?
Well, it's just like it comes out like this, and you do it like that, and then peel it off like that. This has to be about 20 years old, 30 years old. But anyway, you see those pictures that we get when we be doing obituaries and stuff.
I'm really impressed right
and
now.
they look like this.
Yeah.
So
That's where we get it from?
Instantly, this is where we get it. So instantly, it comes out of the camera just like that, and it's done. And I was like, you know me, I love speed.
Yeah. Time is everything.
Time is everything here. Yeah. So it's an image on there, and then later they came out with better cameras, but I was in love with these things right here because it's like instant. You would stick the card into the printer and then it'd print. But that to me that took a little while longer. This right here was kind of like instantaneous.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was a card in there. And
No, not in this one.
Yeah, man, I understand
the
now.
pictures got a little bit better.
No way.
But these took amazing pictures. Amazing for what it was.
Okay.
Fast
So
developing.
we got the camera back. We're back taking pictures. We're
back taking pictures.
We're done with the hiatus.
Yeah.
We're back to take. So now we're in the clubs.
Now we're in the
taking
clubs.
pictures. You said we're talking whole background, whole backdrop,
Yeah, so
everything.
what we would do is that's when the airbrush artists were out, and we would actually these backdrops like these here.
Yeah.
They were actually hand airbrushed. So we would pay anywhere between $500 to $700 to get a backdrop done like this.
Those backdrops are they're by an actual person.
By
So whenever you see that staircase or the pillars in the back, someone did that.
Someone actually airbrushed that. So, I remember at one point I had about 10 different backdrops, and we would have a couple of them set up. You can go with this scene over here. You can go with this scene over here. You can go with this scene.
So you gave them options.
Yeah, you got options, and we would go to different cabarets and set up. But that was remember I told you I took a hiatus, but taking pictures at the nightclub was actually more dangerous than the streets.
Stop.
The streets. Yeah, it was.
And you mean that too?
Man, it's been plenty of times where the fight would just break out, pop, pop, pop. They there and they're shooting. You got to the people running
But you got all this equipment.
You got all this equipment.
A couple grand of equipment here.
You got lights, stands. I mean, it was crazy, and you would just have to fend for yourself, protecting your equipment. Protecting your life.
That sounds impossible.
You on the floor. So I'm I remember the last night that I said, this was enough. It was back to back. I was having it was terrible. That whole
shootout
week,
after shootout.
It was crazy. And then that last time, me and my dad was at the UBQ, and
where it started.
Yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. One guy was he wanted to take. He took about 8 or 9 pictures, and after he took the pictures, we had them set on the table or whatever, and he just went over there and just snatched them, stole them, took them. So and he just stood there what. And so my dad, he was packing he's I'm finna shoot this motherfucker. he was ready to like, and at that time, you know, I was like the smart one, like, hey, chill out, it ain't even worth it.
Don't shoot him.
Just let him have it. We done made we had $1,200. Let him go. Let's continue to make money. We're not finna let one monkey stop no show.
Right.
Go ahead on. We'll deal with him later because we knew who he was. But anyway, the next week he had came back and he said, "Man, I was drunk. I'm sorry." He paid us for the pictures, and he apologized. About a week later, it was another guy, and he was like, I was like, "All right, here we go, on 3, 1, 2." He like, "No, you gonna take my picture on 5."
Did he mean?
Here we go on 3, 1, 2, 3. I take the picture, and he can tell me he ain't paying for it. I told you on 5, and I was done with the pictures after that.
That was the last. That was the last time.
I was like, because you know I see this ain't going nowhere. So I got out the club, and now I'm back to hustling T-shirts.
Okay.
Back to hustling T-shirts. A buddy of mine was like, "Hey man, we should do these T-shirts. We should do these T-shirts." I'm like, his name was Les. And
what T-shirts were y'all were just?
He was like, he kept on saying, "Let's do them." I said, "Okay." Finally, I just said, "Okay, fuck it, we're gonna do T-shirts." So we started with like the marijuana T-shirts, and I was taking.
Like, risky. What year was this?
This was. Now we're probably in. Let's see. All that we probably like in 2000.
Okay.
Somewhere 2001, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And I was selling the marijuana T-shirts.
Are they tall tees?
Tall tees, yeah.
Are they tall tees? It is 2000.
Yeah, down to like just above the knee.
Are they tall tees?
Yeah, just above the knee. Because I remember I was when the Cameron phase came out.
Did you ever buy tall tees?
Not really.
No.
You never had a pink shirt?
You didn't do a pink shirt?
You didn't do a pink shirt? Cameron made the pink shirt.
Man, if you wasn't wearing a pink shirt and a pink do-rag, we didn't know what you was doing.
Yeah. So I was putting these images of like weed on cereal boxes. So I would have Captain Crunch like change it to Captain Funk, and he would have like he would be rolling up and I remember Raisin Bran. I changed it to.
Now, were you still into the airbrushing thing at this time?
No, I'm doing it straight on Photoshop. Didn't really know what I was doing. Taught myself Photoshop.
Just woke up and taught yourself Photoshop.
Taught myself Photoshop. Didn't know how to do it. Just mashed every button on there until I figured it out. So found out how to cut images out, blend and all that stuff. We did Wheaties I had Snoop Dogg on the Wheaties box.
Okay.
Resin Gan.
I feel like I've seen these shirts in our archives.
They
here.
were.
Crack and Pop.
Yeah.
Another one.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Rice Krispies. What was that?
That was funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I tore the cereal boxes up and I made a living off of that. And I would just ride around in my car and go to like car washes and gas stations.
You're popping these out the back of the trunk?
I'm popping them out the trunk. I'm popping them out the trunk of the Cadillac. Just banging them out the trunk. And then I'm like, it started getting like really lucrative. I was buying my T-shirts from Foot Locker. Foot Locker had like the 5 for $10. I didn't have a connect on like T-shirts and that, so I was wearing Foot Locker out until they changed the price from 10 from you. I would get 5 shirts for $10 or $20 it might have been 5 shirts for $20. But anyway, they changed it. I remember going back, and it was like
three. They stopped. That's your fault.
That was all me.
That's your fault. I swear to God.
I'm cleaning out.
You could get 5 tall tees. It was amazing. And then one day
I'm going cleaning them out.
And they're like, "Nah, bro, it's over for that. You get 3 of these."
Yeah, I'm cleaning them out. V-necks and all.
So what was your setup in the truck?
It was in the trunk of the car. I would make. I still had those same clear poly bags that we use, and I had a. I remember we had a sealer, so you can see the image of the shirt.
Yeah,
and the size in the back, and we would go to clubs, gas stations, car washes, barber shops, out the trunk. I think it was like $25 back then. That price, we kept that same price for
they
a
still
long
some
time.
of them today.
Yeah, it was like $25
since 2000.
This up?
No, they were already pre-made.
Okay, pre-made.
So I went back to the basement.
You just figured out what sold or what didn't.
All of them sold.
Oh,
like all of them. So I would look through High Time magazine, see a picture. I remember the first weed shirt was a shirt called Perfect Blend. I'm gonna bring that back out. I got that picture. It was some marijuana inside of a blender, and it was inside of a High Times magazine. So I just ripped it out, put it on a copier. This was before I got good with Photoshop, and cut it out and printed it on a copier and put the Perfect Blend on there.
No way.
And then that's what's got me started. I'm like, they're buying this weed stuff. So I started just doing, then the next one was the Beautiful Ones. It was like a cup, a High Time winter cup with some pretty weed on it. So I just put that on the shirt, and I was like, they really like this weed stuff.
Okay. So how long are we trafficking out the car?
So we trafficking out the car for a long time, and I'm like, it's got to be a better way to start selling like more. You know, now I'm like, it's going. So let me see if I can get inside some of these stores. So I start traveling to the stores, and the stores had already seen people
wearing them
with the shirts. They seen them all out because I'm hustling, and so I was getting contracts with stores. But the thing with the stores, some stores would pay me, but I had to give them a discount because then they had to make a profit. So then I had to get more help, and
so overhead was starting.
Overhead was starting to see, you know, the real
that move
to the next game.
Level.
Yeah, the next level. So I'm leveling up. So I'm like, okay, Foot Locker then and told me I can't get the 5 for the 20. They went to 3. So I said, I'm going to New York.
Oh, you decided to go find a whole nother plug.
I'm going to New York. I'm going to New York. I'm going to the hub. So we pack up. Me, a friend of mine, he was going hustling like fake, like Gucci and stuff like that.
Oh,
but I'm going. That was his hustle.
You have Bertie,
but I'm going.
Yeah,
yeah. So he was going to that one district. So I'm like, okay. I know somebody there got the plug on the t-shirts.
Right.
So we load up, and my friend Monica Didi, she was helping me with the t-shirts, and we were going around. She was one of the main ones. It was me and her. We was just Red Bulls and blunts. Didi. So we Monica, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So we Red Bull and blunt every night making t-shirts. We would get so like drained out, and then hit a Red Bull and
all the way
back. We live again. We would smoke a blunt
all the way to New York.
Making shirts. That was making shirts, and all the way to New York too. So we get to New York. I find a connect. I'm asking, hey, who got the t-shirts? Who got a t-shirt? Who got a t-shirt? So they lead me to the guy with the t-shirts. He got tons of them. I'm like, this is it. Found the connect.
Mountains.
Found the connect. Who would ever know that you can get ganked?
How many shirts did you get? All of them?
I went down there with like 4 bands. Like,
oh, you took all the shirts.
Yeah, as many shirts but I couldn't. He was supposed to ship the rest.
Okay.
So I gave him my address or whatnot, but as many, I don't think enough couldn't fit in the, because we went down there and like I think we had a little mini van or something like that.
Right.
So as much, because he had his
We talking
gear,
red,
right?
blue, green, yellow.
I had all colors, right? So he showed me the
I'm like, you seen them and everything.
I seen them. I picked them out, whatever. So they were in boxes.
Picked them out.
Yeah, it's like I need dozen of these, mostly black or whatever. So we left and got something to eat. He said by the time we come back, that they'd be all packed up. So we get back and I'm like, yeah, okay, where they at? So he like, they right there. So I look at them. Right, okay, cool. I open up the boxes, right?
Right. Saw there.
So I saw all there. It's all there. Okay, cool. I pay him.
We out.
Pay him. We out. We head back to the D. On the way back, we hit a deer. Man. Yeah, I remember that. We hit a deer. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we get back. I open up the boxes.
It's time to get what?
Man, it's holes and shit on.
No,
man, the t-shirts they were secondhand. Tags was
you had a bowl bag.
I had a bowl bag. So listen, y'all out there. You know your bag is bowl if your tag is cut. If that tag is cut, guys,
it's something wrong.
There's something wrong with that t-shirt. It's a hole in it. It's made like this. If y'all can't see me, my one shoulder is up, the other
it's
one
really
is down.
obscure.
It's really obscure. So like the shirts that were on the top were all good. It's just like it's just like they did the old put the good weed on the top and the regos at the bottom. So like I'm gonna get ganked.
Yo, banana in the tailpipe
with some t-shirts.
What did you do? You just had so you,
bro. I'm at home. If he ganked me there, he not sending me.
The rest of them not coming
sending
back.
Me the rest of them back, and they would move. Like they would move up there because I'm like I'm going.
So you could go back and they wouldn't even be.
They wouldn't even be there because it was like because they had to move like that because like they would get hit all the time because they were selling fake stuff too.
How fast do things move in New York?
That.
Like how fast is that?
They fast up there. They real fast. Now that stuff would be moving. They would be They like
fast. 5-car money fast.
Yeah, they real fast. They real fast up there. Everything is fast up there. It's like, okay, I ain't even going back there no more. So I was like, I'm gonna get me a real connect. So I don't know. So let's see, back up. So I think I just went back to the Foot Locker until I can.
You just went back to Foot Locker?
I went back to Foot Locker and just dealt with the 3.
Now, are y'all doing these t-shirts in the basement still, or is the printer still in the basement?
Still in the basement. The copier upstairs. The press is downstairs in the basement.
At what point do we move the printer out the basement? When does the
printer was always upstairs in the kitchen in the nook. The press was downstairs in the basement.
Press is in the basement.
Press was in the basement. So let's see here.
Heat press, sublimation.
Heat press. Then we got a small sublimation machine. Remember I was telling you the other day where we was just doing mugs with it. It was a small sublimation machine, and it would go in, and it was like little 4x6 cards, just enough to do the size.
Oh, you were something like that.
Yeah. So we started doing mugs as well. So we were doing t-shirts and mugs. We weren't selling a lot of mugs, but still mainly t-shirts. And I remember like seeing like my t-shirts were like everywhere, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not printing all these t-shirts. Like where are these shirts coming from? I would go to the mall and see the shirts.
And you knew you didn't put them
I didn't put them in the mall. I had them in little local mom and pop stores, but
they had Fairlane.
They had Fairlane, Northland, Eastland, National Dry Goods.
Your shirt.
My shirts.
And someone else's name?
Everything the same. I was stamping them with can you picture this?
Because when I say like those cereal, those just were everywhere. When I said you started that,
they were everywhere. I started. So like I'm going to the mall like and seeing them all in like these high end stores. Like, bro. But I'm bootlegging. I can't. Who I'm gonna sue them? I got General Mills. Like
it's like,
I'm robbing the
robber.
I can't do nothing. So that's when I was like, okay, it's time for me to come up with some original stuff. That way, I can get it. You know.
Okay.
But I'm in the streets just hustling, just making $1. So I wasn't too much worried about that. So I started doing doing different kind of stuff.
And you're not still under the Starlin image name, are you? Are you something else now?
Well, am I? Let me see. No, I wasn't under Starlin's Perfect Exposure because I remember I was stamping the shirts. I had some put some little gangster tag at the bottom of it. I think it was GTO or something like that.
Okay.
I had like gangsters taking over. I just was, and one of them was like I named it Johnny Depp. I was just putting any stupid logos at the bottom of the shirt just to make the shirt look authentic.
Okay.
But I didn't really have a name yet until I got I went over to the west side of Detroit, which is right across the street from where we at now, ironically. It was a building called Mammoth.
Mammoth? You went to Mammoth?
And I said, well, look at this here. It was a mini mall, like full of people. And I came back to the house. I said, Dad, I just found a gold mine. He said, what you talking about? I said, this place.
It's this magical. It's this magical
like
place.
The Compton swap meet. It was like
there.
It was right there, like
right there.
in the heart of the West Side. I mean, I remember like the East Side. People over on the East Side, they didn't really spend money like on the West Side. The ballers was on the West Side. This was they had all the rims and the cars and
this is the heart of the West Side.
This was Greenfield the heart. I said, man,
definitely the heart of the West Side.
I got it. We got to get over there. So we go. I said, I'm doing it. You with me? Or so I get him. So now we partner back up.
Okay.
So we partner back up, and we open up a full-fledged photography studio. And that's when we take the machine out the house.
This is when it comes out.
This is when it comes out. That's when everything come out the basement in the house, and we move it over there. So now we leveled up to the next level where we got a store. So now
it's still not officially Can You Picture This, but we're over this way.
We over this way. No, I think that's when I didn't name it Can You Picture This yet. Still, it was still Starlin's Perfect Exposure.
Okay.
That was the name of the photography studio.
So how long in the Mammoth building?
So we were over there for a while. 2004, maybe.
In the Mammoth?
2005. 2004, 2005. So
what made y'all move across the street?
So I didn't go from there across the street. I wanted to go across the street.
Right.
I got out of Mammoth
because they were tearing it down.
I got into some crazy stuff. I got out of Mammoth. And
had to go.
I had to go. And then, I'm thinking this is a lot. This is a lot of moving. So I remember I moved out to Southfield.
Okay.
To
Greenfield Plaza.
7 days south. 7 days north. 7 days north. 7 days north.
That's a 7 days north?
7 days north. It was a 7 days east, 7 days west, and a 7 days north.
Interesting.
I moved to 7 days north. And because I wanted to get in 7 days, but it was like 7 days was like
jumping
over there. It was 7 like days west. 7 days west was like I went over there and it was like he was like, there's no way you're getting in here. There's no, absolutely. And I'm like, I'm getting in here.
Was it the same owner?
No, it was the same owner, but a different manager.
Okay.
The same owner. That Pete wasn't the manager. So I'm getting over there. So I'm at 7 Days North. So I'm in the 7 Days family. So I think like they were 7 Days North he sold it. And
so now we got to leave 7 Days
we
North.
We gotta leave 7 Days North. Now, mind you, 7 Days West, it's like nobody can get in here.
Right. But you in the family now, so
yeah, but it was no openings. It was like jam packed. Like it was. I mean, that 7 Days West was like thriving.
So if you had to leave 7 Days North, you couldn't go to 7 Days West. And couldn't go to Mammoth.
7 Days North was like closing down. So I'm just waiting it out. Just waiting it out, not knowing what's my fate.
Okay.
I get a phone call. He like, yeah, we got to open it. I'm like, what? We got to open it over at 7 Days West. I'm
out of there.
I'm out of there. I'm out of there. So I moved to 7 Days. I moved to 7 Days West. And I remember him telling me, if you, this was his exact words, you can sell anything here as long as you wrap it up. He said you can take a piece of, this is what he told me. He said, you can take a piece of shit, put it in a box, wrap it up, and it'll sell. And the day that I went over there, it's like the day I started, it was like money.
It's funny because it's
like the day I went over there,
What's your first dollar over there? You remember?
It was my first $100. It's like wow.
Oh, it was like that when you got there.
As soon as I'm not even set up all the way,
and here we go.
Even set up all the way, and here we go. It's like had no workers or nobody helping me, and seen a little kid. Hey, you want a job? So yeah. His name was Sid. Then that's how I got Sid. That was his cousin. So we hired 2 people. Then from there we hired 6 and all the rest of the crew, and we just built that thing.
So
up.
Now it's Can You Picture This?
Now it's Can You Picture This? I go on and get the assumed name, register it. I remember going downtown and they asked me. What's the name? And I said, I want it to be pictured. I want to put picture this. And it was like, nah, somebody got that.
Damn.
I'm like, well, can you picture this? And it was like, well, yeah, looks like you can do that. So
yep, that was good.
That's how Can You Picture This started.
Who's the original Can You Picture This crew that you had put together?
Which was Sid. It was Sid and Sid. It was just us 3.
Okay.
Then it's like hey, y'all run this store over here. Y'all run this. I think I hired another person over there. And now right across from 7 Days North was the Greenfield Plaza.
Right. And
I used to sell shirts to a guy that was inside of the Greenfield Plaza. His name was I forget his name.
Okay.
But the name of the store was Beneath the Streets.
All right.
He would sell like underground clothes, but I would make his shirts. Clee, I think that was his name. So
you got stuff in
Hood Fella.
You got stuff in Greenfield Plaza, and you going crazy in 7 Days West.
Yeah, so I'm selling to Hood Fella. Then Hood Fella, I think he moved to Atlanta, and he was like, "Yeah, you come get the old store."
Oh, you franchising now?
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. So I'm leveling up. Like, so I go and
because there's levels to it.
I go to the Greenfield Plaza, and I'm like, yeah, I'm taking over his store. So I get Monica to run the Greenfield Plaza, and they running 6 and Sid running 7 Days.
7 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does this building get here?
So as you know, we kept the 2 stores going on for a while, they were doing pretty good, both of them. But it's like when you in two spots, it's hard to juggle. It's hard to juggle them. You can't be in two spots.
And this is 2000 and
this we moving up to. Let me see. I gotta remember the cars that I was driving. So I'm thinking like 2000, maybe 8 to all the way to like 2000. I came over here like in 2013, I believe it was.
okay.
Here.
Yeah, here. So how I got here, well, it's okay. So the Greenfield Plaza, it started to, it was doing really good, and then it started to slow down because you know, I wasn't there, and it was like ran singular by by Monica. She was just running the store, and I'm like looking at the numbers, and I'm like,
Something got to change.
something got to change. Something got to pop. So, me, I'm not afraid to like. I don't feel like I failed or anything like that. It's just like it's not working. Since a beating this dead horse.
Right.
But like I would go over there, and like a lot of times, like I would go there and I push the door, and it's locked. Like it's like she gone down. But I mean, like. It wasn't no business. We wasn't getting a lot of business, but still, you got to. You got to.
We're
You got to.
open.
We open. You got to stay there.
We open.
We open. So now, on top of us not getting business, if somebody would come in there like and save the day, like it might be like nobody come in there for one person can change your like just like today.
The whole day.
The whole day. One only takes one person.
After, yeah.
Yeah, so like we wasn't getting that one person coming through, and I'm like, look, Monica, like you gotta keep the store open. So and she just wouldn't do it. So
So you leave the Greenfield Plaza?
so I said, well, this ain't gonna work, and it took me like instead of me like trying to make it work, I'm just one day I just went in there and I looked up around and I just was like, I pulled the first shirt off the wall. Boom. I pulled the second one down. Boom. And I just pulled everything down, packed those. What we doing? We packing up. We out of here. So I packed up. Got
Y'all
out of
came
there.
here?
No, I just shut that down.
Okay.
Just shut that down, and we just ran to one store.
The 7 days.
The 7 days.
Okay.
So I just cut my ties short right there with the
Now, at some point, you decided to franchise again because when I got here.
So I'm over at 7 days, and I meet Angelo.
Okay.
And
Angelo.
Yeah. Angelo's a computer tech. How I met him, I was like, I was doing CD duplication. So I wanted to do CD duplication because we had a lot of up and coming rappers. They were,
CD duplication was big at one point.
It was really, I wanted to catch the new wave. So I wanted to do CD duplication. So Angelo was like a computer tech, real good with printers and computers. So he had a shop over there, a little shop over there.
Okay.
Inside of 7 Days West, a little computer store. And I was like, hey, can you get me like a CD duplicator? He like, yeah, I can get that. No problem. Easy. Just give me like $250. Like right now. He like, yeah. So I give him the $250. Okay. Week roll around. Yeah, you got the print. Yeah, it's on its way. Right? Bottom line, I never got the printer.
Ever.
Never ever got the printer. So I'm like, look, bro. Look. I ain't worried about the printer.
Well, how are we gonna resolve this?
Look, you could just work it off. You work that little 250 off. Like
Little 250.
little too light 250. So then we became friends. So he would come over, like if I needed some help with like any technical stuff, he would, help me out with that. So anyway, about a year later, he say, it's a store across the street. 7 Days West was closing they would close at 7 o'clock. So we had orders to do. Like it would be people with permanent hair, like
and the lights are
the
shutting
lights
off.
shutting out. They had whatever you had to go. You had to go, so they would be like, "Hurry up and rinse the perm out their hair and like meet me at my house," like type deal, because you had to go. So if you had, money was cut off. So like it's a store across the street. We should try to go in and get that. So I was like, cool. So as is where is, the store. So I went over there, checked the building out. It was like, okay, this is good. This is good. Little holes in the walls.
Didn't look nothing like this, y'all. It didn't look nothing like this.
We're gonna patch this up. So Angelo's like, come on, Angelo. And Angelo didn't come with the half.
Okay.
So I just went on and just foot the bill. Bam. I said, Angelo, you just get this spot over here. And he's like, cool, okay. So Angelo was over there, like, had the computer spot over there, and we was rolling. We was rolling. So he just paid like rent over there.
Okay.
So it was cool.
It was only one slot. It wasn't two.
No, it was still like it was 3 slots. Here. Yeah, always 3 slots.
Always 3?
Always 3 stores. So it was like a big, huge building. Like, so like coming into it, it was like, okay, what am I doing with all this space? It was like, so I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna do the Compton swap meet, the Detroit swap meet. So I had him rent out the computer store.
Okay, there should be a photography studio here. And
so I had a photography studio, and then I had another room back there where the direct garment room is over there. I rented that out as a hair salon. So I was in the hair salon, so I rented out a hair salon. So like I'm leveling up again. So now I got people paying rent. To it. I got there's levels to it. So I got people paying rent, and everything's good. And yeah. So that what brings us here.
All the way here.
All the way here. Yeah.
At what point does it all become just can you picture this?
So now it's can you picture this now? So was can you picture this? So what we running now, I'm running this and 7 days.
Okay.
So I'm running both. Now I'm back at now I do the same thing again. I got 2 stores again.
Okay.
And all the way till I kept 7 days. Well, when I came over here, it was just I was supposed to only keep 7 days to transition the customer base to across the street. Right?
Right.
But it was still 2 different customers. The customers would not come over here. They would only shop over there. They would not come, and the customers from over here wouldn't go over there.
You know what? That's a weird dynamic. Because now that you mentioned that, I've seen that.
It was really weird. Like I was like, it's right across the street. They would like I actually counted the steps. It was 384 steps from 7 days west to over here,
and that wasn't happening.
It wasn't happening. They was not coming over here. It was not coming over here. That was their little spot. So I kept it open, and it was it stayed lucrative for a while.
And that was in 2013.
Yeah, 2013 all the way up until just recently 2022 is when
it was COVID, right?
Yeah, after COVID, it kind of it never recovered from that.
Did you come here first, or did you go to 7 Days West first?
I was in 7 days. Yeah.
Where did you meet Clay?
I met Clay at my church. So for a while, my church was getting like a lot of flyers and things done from the print shop here, and I was the one designing them. And so I would be getting that phone call from Clay like, hey, we can't print this because you sent us a JPEG and we need a PDF. And I'm like, all right. So I had to learn how to save PDFs. And he like, hey, we can't print this because if we print it, we try to cut it, the bleed room is going to cut off all your words. And I still have trouble with my bleed room right now.
So you really started working for here before you was working for here.
Yeah, I was
yeah. So he was doing the printing for the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so pastor was like, I got my son, he does all my graphic design. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, The bleed would be like all the way. I'm trying to explain. I remember I'm trying to explain to him on the phone, and
You can't.
A lot of people just don't get.
No one does it.
Even me, like when I first started doing flyers, didn't know how to do a bleed. In other words, a bleed is just leave yourself enough room where they
a quarter of an inch on each side.
A quarter of an inch on each side. So when we cut, you know,
when anyone cuts,
when anyone cuts, your image, your words and stuff don't get cut off.
Please, I know you're trying to use as much room as you can on whatever surface that you're on. When you're doing graphic design, you cannot put that stuff near the edge like that, not that close. It will get cut.
It will get cut off.
It will get cut off.
Yeah. So and a lot of designers, they still send us images with no bleed, and we'll tell them.
You got to do the border.
So we got to do the border thing, and it takes a little more time.
No, I've had to redesign entire things.
Yeah.
I've had to redesign entire things because that bleed room wasn't there, and there was no way to cheat it.
But like bigger companies, they just won't print it. That's when when you level up to the next they've sent your file's not right.
And even worse, some companies will print it.
Yeah,
they will print it,
but they leave it on you, and you know you didn't.
Yeah, your name cut off now.
Your name cut off, and then
your phone number,
and guys like really look at your files like. If they're blurry and words cut off, like it's not a good look. It's not a good look. So, we just would call the customer and say, hey, these files are not right.
Yeah, I did. But we digress. I'm so sorry. Oh, man, I had to get that off my chest. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you remember what car you were driving in 2013? Because I know you said you go buy the cars to remember.
2013.
You first got this place.
See, I think I had a caravan. Yeah, jumped out the Cadillac to the caravan.
So we coming along on the 10-year anniversary then.
Oh wait, what about your Jeep?
Yeah, we coming
your Jeep.
Oh, you know what? I did have the black Jeep.
That's when I met you.
That was what year was that? What do you
10?
2010. I met Al in a
What year can you picture this get established? What year is the starting year?
Here was like 2013.
2013?
Yeah, 2013.
Okay.
I met Al, we were doing photography, jumped into like I wanted to get into the video scene. So that's when I was working with Propane.
Yep.
Propane, it was me and Propane working in the Greenfield Plaza, and that's when we met. I think we Propane hit
Propane. Are you talking about a person?
Yeah, okay. Propane. Yeah, Jermaine Propane. That was his name. Hit Al up. Did you? How did he find you?
Oh, it was MySpace.
MySpace. He hit him up on MySpace.
I hit him up on MySpace.
That's really old.
I was like, you guys need a photographer for this thing? And they were like, come on down.
So we was doing a photo shoot, not a photo shoot, a video shoot for the one and only Trick.
One and only.
The one and only Trick. That's when we met Trick. And we shot his video. We had the grip truck and we rented all this expensive equipment. And
so you've been part of the Can You Picture This family for a long time.
Over a decade.
Speaking of over a decade. Did you ever have a grand opening here?
Yeah, we had a grand opening. It was really wasn't a grand opening. I remember us having a re-grand opening because the grand opening wasn't so grand. So, so we had a re-grand opening. The re-grand opening was much better than the grand opening. So,
do you think you'll have another one?
Yeah, No, well, it won't be a grand opening, but it will be like I don't know what we coming, like you said, we coming up on what year?
10 years.
10 year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
This year, 2013.
No, it had to been before. I got my numbers mixed up because we've been here. We've been here for 14 years in this building. We've been in this building for 14 years.
Mm.
So what year would that make that?
What, 2009?
2009?
Yeah, 2009. Yeah, 2009.
That's how long it's been here.
It's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. We can read about it in the paper. I don't know. You can go back. I wrote it. They wrote an article on me, so my memory is not like how it used to be. Doing all this movement and stuff like that. But yeah, so the next level is like production, like really like on a production level. That's where I want to go.
That's what's in the future.
Yeah, that's what's in the future. But I still enjoy like the retail side of things, but just more in the production zone. Yeah, that's what.
It's crazy. This is I want you to be serving the community here.
Yeah. I like working with the people. It's starting to get,
this is the heart.
Yeah, it's the heart. I like working with the people, setting other guys up for success in their print ventures. That's another lot of people like want to start their own like clothing gig, and I get like I see the excitement in their eyes when and I'm like, yeah, that was me, and it's like a lot of the young cats I've been in their shoes, and just like not having a way out, like almost stuck, and it's like. This is an outlet, and they can get out. It's like hard work, though. It's not all glitz and glam, but you can make it in it. But it's not. We make it seem easy because, like you say, we've been doing it for a while, but it's a bit challenging at times. But if you stay persistent and dedicated to the game,
keep the hustle.
Do it. Keep the hustle on.
I really think that's what Campus List really stands for, and what it means is it started from that very beginning, through hard work and through dedication and through losses and tribulations.
Oh yeah. So
it made it to here, 14223 Greenfield.
14223 Greenfield.
Like that's.
Come see us if you need some help. We're here to help you.
Always here to help you level up. As always, I'm Just Niles.
It's your boy Lance.
This is LL.
This is Clay, also known as Fearless.
L Boogie.
You have just listened to the Can You Picture This podcast, the podcast for the strongest, fastest, most powerful print shop on this side of the Eastern Seaboard. You can catch us in the heart of Detroit, Greenfield and Grand River, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Our address is 14223 Greenfield Road, Detroit, Michigan, 48227. Our phone number is 313-273-5000.
You are listening to CYPT Podcast. You are listening to CYPT Podcast. You are listening to CYPT Podcast. CYPT Podcast. CYPT Podcast.